Good morning, everybody. My name is Carla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 228. It is Sunday, February 11th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff to help grow the channel. If this isn't your first time finding the channel, if you're coming back every week, then thank you so much for coming back. I do enjoy having you here each week and doing the videos and then, you know, seeing your responses and your reactions and everything during the course of the next week. It's a highlight of my week. So, as I said, it's February 11th. It is 9 o'clock, so I have to kind of get on the stick and get this filmed and get it started to be uploaded because today is the big game day, right? But not the Super Bowl. I could care less about football. I don't even know who's playing. That's not my thing. But I do have a big game today, and it is the last D&D game of the campaign that I'm playing with my brother and my nephew, and that's going to be starting in a couple hours my time over Zoom. So it is a big game day for me too, but not exactly football. So I mentioned before that we were ending this campaign. I was kind of sad about it because I felt like, oh, I'm never gonna like talk to my family again. But I actually talked to my brother yesterday, and he's running a game for Logan and his friends. Aaron started this game, and I joined years into it with his two kids to kind of introduce them to D&D because he always loved it. And once they moved to Michigan this past June, Reagan was already involved in competitive cheer here in California, but it got even more involved in Michigan. And so she basically didn't have time to do these games anymore. And Aaron said he could tell Logan was not, disliking the game, but, he's gotten a lot more outgoing and has a new group of friends. And he kind of wants to spend his gaming time doing stuff with them, which I can understand. So Aaron's running a game for them. And this game is going to end. But what my brother said he'd like to do is he and I have sort of a new campaign that is, he calls it Theater of the Mind. So in other words, no board, nothing like that. We'll just get on Zoom every other week or so and play this game that he's going to run. So that should be really fun. And I'll have a couple hours every couple weeks with my brother playing the game, and so that'll be really fun. And because it's just going to be he and I, and we don't have to worry about kids' bedtimes or anything like that, the game can be a little bit later in the evening for him, so he can do it, at 10 o'clock his time, 7 o'clock my time. We can do it during the week, so it'll be just a little bit more convenient and just a good way for us to connect and kind of have fun while we're doing it. So anyway, I'm excited, looking forward to that. So that should happen in the next, month or so that he gets that together. He has to figure out how we're going to play it, and we're going to use, I guess, version 5 instead of 3.5 of D&D. I've been playing D&D since I was in high school, but I've never been like super knowledgeable about it. So anyway, it's all going to be just talking and thinking, and it should be fun. It should be fun. Also today, Sunday, February 11th, is my brother and Stacy's wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary, you guys. They are not even together today, which is why we're playing D&D. Stacy is in, I want to say Chicago, but I don't know if that's true. But anyway, she's with Reagan. She's with Reagan at a cheer competition, and Aaron is home with the boys and playing D&D with me today. So they're not having a very romantic anniversary, but it is their anniversary. I think it's their 17th, I want to say, because I know Logan just turned 16, and I think he was born right before their first anniversary. So I think it's their 17th. But anyway, happy anniversary, you guys. Hopefully as soon as you're together again, you'll have a nice little romantic time. So I always give a Southern California weather report. It's really super sunny right now, but it's kind of chilly. It's like in the high 50s, low 60s. It's been that way for a couple days. The beginning part of the week, we had rain. It was just, yeah, it was very, very rainy here. Lots of inches in other places. A lot of people contacted me, are you okay? I heard there's flooding. There wasn't really any flooding or any problems right where I live, not even like driving, you know, because sometimes the streets get flooded and it's a pain to drive. I'm noticing as I'm waving my arm around, I have a huge bruise. In case you guys are noticing, I have blood drawn this week and she had trouble getting the vein. So that's what you end up with, a big lump and a big bruise. But anyway, yeah, so we had a lot of rain. And then Thursday it kind of cleared up and now we can expect sunny and cool. You know, for us it's cool. I know for you guys where it's snowing, you know, when it's 60 degrees, you're like, oh, it's almost spring. For us that's cool. So we can expect that for about another week, and then I think the rain might come back. I don't know how strong, but I think that's what we're looking at. Let's see. That's really all I have preamble wise. I do want to kind of move through this. You know, I talk too much, but I want to show you my whips and my creativity this week. I didn't do any little golden book stuff. I really had good intentions to do it yesterday and I just really didn't feel like it. So it is what it is. I did do a lot of crocheting this week though. Not exciting as far as like the stitches or anything like that, but I think that the projects were pretty cool. I showed you this basket last week that I was working on and I did finish it. So this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a low sort of wide basket because this I wanted it to fit like boxes of press-on nails. So it's the right height for that. And then this slides under my coffee table cedar chest thing. But it came out exactly how I wanted it. I like this basket pattern a lot. And as I said, I had 4 balls of, this is the Lion Brand Mandala Thick and Quick. And this is the color Vortex. I had 4 balls of this. And I thought that this would only take 2 and it ended up taking like 2.5. So I needed to figure out something to do with the other 1.5 balls. And I wanted to make another basket, but I decided to do something slightly different with this one. And I actually made a smaller basket with a lid. So yeah, I mean, it's a little wonky. Part of the issue is that the original model stitch of this basket was done with a like a jute kind of thing, like a rope. And this is thick and it does make a nice stiff basket, but it's not that stiff. So I did get a bottle of fabric stiffener. It did suggest in the instructions that if your yarn wasn't stiff enough, you could do that. So I might paint the inside of this one with the fabric stiffener. Although really, once you get stuff in it, it is stiffer. I thought it would be kind of fun to try and do a lid. So basically I just did like the bottom, but I went an extra round around. And then I just did 2 of the side wall type things. And I mean, I can use this for pretty much anything. I mean, you guys know I've got so much crafty stuff around here. There's lots of things it could hold. So, and then I figured it needed to have some kind of top. So I was contemplating a pom-pom or something, and I just had just a little bit of yarn when I got to the last row on the basket, and I just crocheted a little handle-y thing. So I don't know, I think this is really cool. I'm really pleased with it. I have to figure out what to put in it. But I kind of liked that. And I like this yarn. That Thick and Quick is a nice yarn. That's what I made my first a pair of slippers out of as well. It's actually the same colorway as this, and they are now, I don't know where they are. Someplace. I probably took them off, and they're probably under the coffee table, and Baggy probably pushed them far so I can't see them. So I'm gonna have to like try and fish them out because I don't know where they are right now. Also, I did work on my my cocoon cardigan. I am on the 4th ball. I just started it, and I think that the 4th ball is going to get me to the right length or width or whatever. It's supposed to be 27 inches before I fold it and make the sleeves, but oops. So it's about 18 or 19 now, I think. So yeah. And then when I'm done with this, I'm gonna have 2 balls left. So I don't know, maybe this is kind of smaller. Like it's not that stiff to make a basket, but I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with it. I really like it though. And it's squishy, and it's, you know, it's a little bit bright, you know, when it's done for me to wear it as a wearable, but you know what, I still will. I definitely will on here, on the video, so you guys can at least see it once, and then, I don't know, it might just be a slouching around the house kind of sweater, or, you know, maybe I'll wear it to work. I mean, especially if I'm like wearing black pants and a black t-shirt under it, you know, the bright pop of color is just that, a pop of color, right? Okay, so that was all my crocheting this week. So it wasn't like, you know, difficult crocheting. I mean, the baskets are just single crochet, and that's just double crochet back and forth. So it's not like challenging crocheting necessarily, but it's, I feel like I got a lot done. Okay, on to the stitching. Oh, before I do the stitching, I did want to tell you guys that I, punched 2 more sets, or 2 more, you know, decks of cards to make floss drops. And now I have all these floss drops. I like want to kit up a bunch of projects just so I can use them. So this set is all cat artwork. This is the back, and then these are really cute, and it's artwork by Gary Patterson. So, I'm pulling up ones that don't have very good cat pictures. There's one picture in here that looks very familiar to me. Like, I'm not super familiar with this artwork, but there's one that I have seen. Look at that. If I can find it, that's of course going to be difficult to find because I want to. Here, this one. This one I've seen before on stuff. So yeah, so I spent a few minutes and I punched these. I also have the option to like make these into small sets and, you know, use them as giveaways on the channel, or like the retreat that I'm going to, the one retreat, or like if I go to any stitching, you know, stitching days with the Southern California Stitchers group, which I haven't been to anything with them for a long time, but they're there every Saturday. I for sure could. And then I showed you these cards last week. These are the Amy Brown cards. I did screw up one and punched it the wrong way, but these are the Amy Brown cards, and I just punched them as well. So yeah, so you know, I could use these as giveaways, as I said. I mean, there's not that many projects that would require like a full deck, you know, and And to be honest, except for the Disney one, which there's a reason for it, I don't know that this is a method that I would prefer for projects that have that many colors. But if it has 10 colors or 20 colors or something like that, then this works really good. And it does add just a little bit of something special when you're going through and finding your floss. So anyway, so I did that this week. And then the stitching, the one thing that I went and I looked at yesterday, so I haven't been doing this all along, but I was watching Laura Stitching by the Shore on Friday, and she has a Facebook group that she started, and she, you know, she does a lot of games and challenges and that kind of thing, and enjoys them. I am not a challenge person. I realized that very early in my stitching career that like challenges, I just find them irritating. I definitely don't want to have to remember to take pictures and post on all that kind of stuff. So the games and challenges is not for me. But she started a, you know, just for fun, not even a like reporting thing, but just for fun, she thought she would do like an I Spy game. And I don't know if she's going to do it every month or, you know, but anyway, she did one for February. Basically just had 10 prompts, and people are basically using it in different ways. Like they're using it as a prompt and then they have to stitch 200 stitches or whatever. I'm not doing that. What I basically, she was talking about the I Spy game, and I went and I looked and like, what are the prompts? And then I went and I looked at my February stitching, what I stitched so far, and I wanted to see if my projects could all fit in there, if I could find a prompt for each one of my projects. And I also decided to like, okay, let's not double dip, right? There's 10 prompts. I've stitched on more than, you know, 10 projects. Will each prompt fit one of the projects? And it did. So that was kind of cool. So as I go through here, I will show you, or I'll mention the prompts. This is gonna fall. Except that there's 3 that I didn't stitch this week. So let me just, so the prompts really quick are pink, something sweet, something starting with an F, hearts, something that flies, something that reminds you of a friend, red, something that leaps, something that you love, and something that makes you smile. So the 3 that I used, I mean, that I didn't stitch on this week. I guess there's maybe only 2. So I used Mouth of the Flower, which is something starting with an F, obviously, for flower. And I showed you this last week. It's this one. And I've got just this part done. So I will be stitching on that again more, you know, coming up. But since I'm talking about the I Spy game. And then Frog Bouquet, which I did not work on this week, but I will be working on it very soon because I want to get it done. Frog's Leap. So I used that one. Now, certain of these prompts, it's like something that makes me smile and something that you love and something that reminds you of a friend. I mean, like everything kind of fits that category. Like I wouldn't be stitching on it if it didn't make me smile. And a lot of my projects remind me of friends for different reasons. So those almost were harder because it's like to find a unique one. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's get to my whips. So I worked on Pavane for these times, which I put on as something sweet because it's all flowers. Flowers are sweet. This is a project that I had on my inactive list last year. Partly was because I'm stitching this on 20 count Aida with Sulky, and my sampler Osha was also 20 count Aida with Sulky, and so I found that I wasn't stitching on this because it kept getting put to the back of the pile basically because I was stitching on sampler Osha. So I put it on the inactive list so I didn't have to think about it, and then it came out again this year. This is my Long Dog sampler. I know a lot of people also are starting the Long Dog Leap Day thing, which I did last Leap Day, and that Long Dog is on my inactive list. I was not enjoying stitching on it mostly because the fabric was hurting my hands to use. So although I still love that one, it's still on the inactive list. I don't think it's gonna stay there forever though. But anyway, this is pavane for these times, and all floral. And so I put that as something sweet. And as I said, this is a 20 count Aida, white Aida, but it's sparkly. And I'm stitching this with 2 colors of sulky, a variegated and a solid. And this whole motif is what I worked on. And I brought this top thing over a little bit, and then I worked on this little bit. So long dog samplers, pavane for these times. And this has that saying that I really like, that you turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you. Okay, I did work on my Autumn Equinox Pixie. Now I put her on for something pink. I have a lot of things that have pink, and actually I wanted to use my little Snapdragon because it's on a very pink modeled fabric. But I put that on another thing, so I had to pick a different one. So I picked this for pink. I mean, she's got pinks and purples and magentas, and her fabric is a peachy pink, so I just figured overall this counts. And I worked on this wing bit, which I'm trying to get finished. So I want to get like all of this up here done, and maybe finish the beading up here, and then go and do her skirt and her feet. But she is really pretty. I did change her skin color. It was not originally planned for me to do that. It happened because the fabric that I chose, once I stitched an arm and I didn't like the way it looked, it just blended into the fabric. So I thought that I would darken her skin. So yeah, I've told this story. So I had stitched the whole arm, and then I frogged it because I didn't like the color, and I went with a darker color palette and stitched the whole arm and still didn't like it. It was still not dark enough, I felt like. So I pulled it out a second time. And then finally found a color combo that I thought looked really pretty. And I think she's gorgeous. So this is my blue bouquet with cats. This is a Design Works kit by artwork by Nene Thomas. I chose this one as something that I love because, you know, there's the baggie that's hiding in the flowers. I don't know, I always say like this cat looks like he might be a little bit skinnier than Baggy, but Baggy's fat part is all right here, so it could still be Baggy. He could still be a portly cat. So yeah, I figured that Baggy sat for this picture at some point when I was at work. Didn't tell me, and that's how this artwork was recreated. However, I'm nowhere near the cat as far as working on it. This is on a Pole Stitches fabric that I got from eBay. Not sparkly, shockingly. I basically, if I buy fabric now, I buy sparkly. I mean, I would say 80–90% of the time. I had a bunch of mistakes on this, so I did have to do some frogging. I still think that there's counting mistakes, but it's sort of freeform, so I'm just gonna go with it and fudge as I go along. There's big hair on my screen. I hope you guys can't see it. No, you can't, because it's not in the camera. So that is Blue Bouquet with Cat. Okay, I have my 2 bee projects, and I did work a little bit on each of them this week. So this is the Velvet Stitch Bumblebee Klart, a little Klart kit to try out the Velvet Stitch, which I still haven't gotten to that point yet. And I just did one of the bee's wings. This metallic floss is a little bit like difficult to stitch with, not impossible, just a little bit difficult. Hold on while I trim all these little bits that are hanging off the back, because yeah, they're annoying. Okay. And I put this project in something that flies, because bee, obviously. So I don't even know if you can see it, because it is meant to be really subtle, but I stitched the wings on this one. And got to stitch the wings on the second one, and then I will be on to the actual velvet stitch. And then I worked on my little Mill Hill Beehive house, which will look like that. This is going to be really difficult to see, only because it's like browns and browns on brown. But this one, I said I used for heart. So you can barely see, right, the stitching, but I did quite a bit. And the reason is because this has, on the door, there's a little heart charm. It's in the bag right here. So it will have a heart when it's done. Okay, this is the project that I said makes me smile. And this is the Dandelions. It's actually 2 charts, but I'm putting them together into one project. The first one is called Dandelion, and the second one is called Dandelion's Family. And these are free patterns from LittleRoomIntheAttic. And the artwork is by Maria Demina is the Little Room in the Attic owner, and I guess charter, and the artist of the work is Lauren Dawson. Okay. So I'm doing this on a piece of 25 count BestitchMe fabric in the color Sky. And I know it doesn't seem like I did very much, but actually a lot of what I did was the like straight stitches that are in the end of the tail, in the dandelion part. I have a little bit more gray and then some white to fill in there to finish that part. And then I brought down the tail a little bit. And then, last but not least, this is my little Snapdragon. I said this is, I used the category reminds you of a friend, because Julie, Stitching in the Cabin, is also working on this. But I also pulled this out. I mean, it's part of my February theme anyway, my floral theme, but I also pulled it out because You're the Dragon. So, which I guess actually was Saturday, was the New Year, but I pulled this out Friday night instead and worked on it. And I decided to work on the actual dragon part because You're the Dragon, so instead of the flower part. But see, I could have used this for pink really nicely, but and this is what I have. And I worked on the wing quite a bit on the wing. He's so cute. So, and then we were talking on, was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. We were texting, Julie and I, and she found these really cute dragon patterns on Etsy. I was very tempted, but I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I have a dragon. I actually have 2 dragons because I have my huge full coverage that was going to take until I die to finish. So I hearted them. That was her suggestion. Heart them, and then you can buy them later. So I hearted them, but there was like 3 really cute little dragon patterns, and I can't remember the shop, but she saw them from somebody else's FlossTube, and then she went looking for them, and it's like there was dragon and snowdrops, dragon and pansies, I think, and then a watermelon dragon. They're all like 3 little baby dragons, you know, with like an accent thing. Really cute. Okay, so that was all of my stitching. Don't really have much in the way of purchases, which is good because I'm trying not to purchase stuff. Not always that great about it, but I'm trying not to. I did get the fabric stiffener that I showed you and some sponges to put it on with, so you know that was like a $10 purchase maybe. And then the other thing that I did purchase is I did buy a little bit of yarn. I'm really kind of intrigued to make socks. I showed you this little booklet that I got on eBay for inexpensive on how to crochet some socks. And I got some ice yarn, which looks so pretty. So if I decide to make socks, I'm going to try and use this to make it, because I mean, this stuff is, first of all, it's super soft, and second of all, it shimmers and pastel neon rainbow. I mean, yeah. Yeah, so that's it. Plans, basically, more of the same. Hopefully little golden book work. It's going to really just depend on how my body's feeling and mentally how I'm there. And then once I get them done, then they're going to have to go out probably a couple at a time, like maybe 2 or 3 every 2 weeks when I get paid, because the shipping isn't going to be super cheap on that. So anyway, that's where I'm at with them. And the problem is that like my mind is like, oh, I want to work on little golden books, like when I'm at work and I'm nowhere near my crafts. And then at night, my body is physically too tired to sit here and do it. And then on Saturday, if I'm in the right mood, then I do it all day. If I'm not, then I have a hard time even thinking about sitting down and doing it. So, you know, it just depends on where I'm at. I do want to get them done though. And I'm excited to get them out to you guys. So I think that's about it. I'll keep working on all my flowers. I already like finished my February I Spy. So that was kind of fun though, to just go through and see the projects that are already done and, you know, plug them into that little game. So that was fun. And yeah, I have all of my floss drops now, and so I kind of want to kit stuff up. I do need to kit up this month the little stretch, the Haunted Mansion stretch girl that I'm going to do as a small for the retreat. So I do need to kit that up. I mean, it's so tiny. It's going to take like one strand of like 6 colors, I think. But I still need to gather them and figure out how I'm doing that. And find where I put the chart. Yeah, and the other thing that needs to be kitted up for, actually not for March, but for April, I need to start thinking about kitting up the bird that I'm going to do this year for my friend Tracy. I think we decided on a hummingbird, and I'm pretty sure that I decided on which hummingbird I'm doing, because I have a chart. That is not it. I have a hummingbird chart. Yeah, it's the hummingbird chart here. And one of these, I looked up, and one of these is a backyard bird for her. And I think it is, I can't remember. I have to look them up again. But I think it might be the Rufus. I can't remember. There's 4 in here, so, and I know 2 of them were native to her area. And then she wanted me, these flowers I think look like the honeysuckle. I can't remember if it's these flowers or these flowers, but she said they look like the honeysuckle that grows in her yard, except they're not quite the right color. So she's going to kind of take a picture if she can and send me that so I can kind of figure out the colors of the flowers so it kind of matches her backyard. And then I'll use the bird that actually is native to her area. So I will have to kit that up. I'm starting it in April. Yeah. And I think that's about it. For plans for everything. Wednesday is Valentine's Day. If you celebrate, if you have a romantic Valentine, I hope you have a wonderful day. When I was celebrating Valentine's, my favorite thing to do, not to go out, because no, my favorite thing is a bed picnic. So if you need some Valentine's ideas, and it's hard to do if you have kids. One year we did it and his son was going through a hard time and he was leaving the room every like minute and a half. But basically you just find a movie or something that you guys really enjoy, put on some, not necessarily sexy, just fancy pajamas that make you feel comfortable and make you feel good, and just make a picnic of your favorite little snacky things. So obviously you're not going to have like a bowl of chili, right? You're going to have chocolate and berries and cheese and crackers and nuts and that kind of thing, and you just put it on a big tray and have a bed picnic and watch a romantic or fun or whatever kind of movie you enjoy, and just be together. So I think that that's a really good romantic way to spend Valentine's Day, if you can. If you have little kids, it's never gonna happen. So whatever. I will be spending the evening cuddling with my feline Valentine. So it will be no different than any other evening, but maybe I'll buy myself some chocolate on the way home from work or something. I won't share that with him though. He'll have his Temptations treats like he does every single day. So yeah, that's about it. Now I'm just rambling, and it is 9:45, so I need to get this uploading and get the Zoom and everything set up for my D&D game. Until I see you guys again, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have fun stitching. I hope you have good weather, whatever that means to you, whether you like it cold or like it warm, snowy, rainy, whatever. You know, I like the rain. I don't like driving around in it and having to be at work, but when it's like raining and I'm home, I love it. So yeah, I think that's about it. Until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Carla. Bye-bye.